Good morning, welcome to Sobirov's live show. Internet is infested with fake news and deception, and immigration sector is no exception. We will delve into the immigration fraud and investigate together with you what you need to be aware and how you need to be careful when it comes to immigration services. Let's get started.
Just a quick reminder before we start. Please note that whatever you hear in these live sessions or any content you see on social media by Sobirov's law firm is general information only and not legal advice. While we may use certain real-life scenarios or legal cases for learning purposes, it is important to remember that this does not constitute a legal opinion. For personalized legal advice, please consult with your lawyer or hire a Canadian immigration lawyer. Now, let's get back to our show.
And welcome back. As usual, we will start with immigration-related news pieces. News piece number 1. According to Western Standard, federal government says Canada needs more French foreigners. And I suggest that you read this information because many people, when they think about Canadian immigration, they focus on English language tests. But Canada is a bilingual country. We have French and English as our official language. Immigration policy has been devised to attract a lot of Francophone candidates to the country. We speak French, and si vous êtes Francophone, you can always apply. According to Census Canada, unfortunately, Francophone speakers outside of Quebec has decreased lately. That's why by 2036, it is projected to be declining further. That's why the policy is in. Francophone immigration is welcome to Canada. So you can read it for yourself, and if you speak French, make the best use of it. Second piece is that according to the Globe and Mail, Canadian government is trying to build more housing, more units in Canada, and to my mind, to our potential business immigration clients, construction industry is very interesting and it will be booming in the coming years. I suggest that you read this piece and decide for yourself what you're going to do when it comes to construction and the expected boom in this sector. Okay, let's get to my presentation right now. Today we will be doing analyzing immigration fraud and how things need to be evaluated when you are faced with similar situations.
Are you constantly on the move, managing your business, and looking for a convenient way to stay informed about expanding your business to Canada? Look no further. Introducing Speaking of Canada, the podcast that keeps you in the loop on all things related to Canadian business immigration, delivering the latest news and valuable tips and captivating interviews, no matter how busy your schedule gets. Speaking of Canada has got you covered.
All right, today's presentation is how to identify and safeguard against immigration fraud. Unfortunately, internet is empowering not only good guys, but also the bad guys. And today, based on real life scenarios and the cases that I investigated, we will delve into this topic, and I want you to be very attentive. Send me your questions. We will take as much time as necessary to cover the questions only related to immigration fraud. Today we have to be really laser focused because this topic is very deep and very important. All right, let's define immigration fraud. First of all, to my mind, there are two types of immigration fraud. The first type that we will discuss today is when somebody else is trying to scam you and get your money in exchange for nothing or fake documents. Okay? This relates to between you and the scammer. So you are being attacked by the scammer in a way. The second type that we will not be discussing today, but we will do another session in the future, is when there is an immigration fraud by the applicant to deceive the Canadian government, okay, to deceive Canadian authorities. That topic is very complex. It has a lot of legal analysis, misrepresentation and whatnot. We will delve into that second type of immigration fraud on a later date. Today is type 1 only. Now, first and foremost, you need to start in order to prevent and avoid immigration scam or fraud by technical analysis. Very simple technical analysis that Government of Canada suggests that you do when you are facing this kind of a dilemma, whether to trust this source or not to trust. A website, because Canadian government has digitalized most of immigration process and application, you will be dealing with a website most of the time. The scammers have their website, their social media accounts, and so on. So the website is the first analysis. If you come across any website that is trying to offer immigration services, whether in Canada or from outside of Canada, you need to ask yourself if they are asking money for something which is already free. For example, application forms are free. They are published on the government website and you can access them for free. Nobody should be selling you application forms. Second, if the website offers special or too good to be true offers and guarantees visa results, okay? If there's any guarantee to enter Canada, to do this or that, that's a red flag and you need to be careful. And if the website is being designed to look like a government website, we will delve into those government symbols and designs, and the government website, the URLs, they have their own ending. You can see that .gc.ca is the government website ending. So you need to see whether the URL or the website itself is trying to deceive you, to basically hypnotize you to think that this is a government website, okay? So you need to be careful with that. And the personal information, financial information, and making a deposit on something, this is a red flag. But you should be really careful that lawyers, legitimate lawyers and immigration consultants, they may need some preliminary information with you, which is okay, which is very legal, and to do their due diligence and know your client, know your customer type of due diligence. They need preliminary information from you. So don't be alarmed if a lawyer asks you for an ID document or certain information, but most of the time lawyers don't go into very much detail in the first interaction, okay? There's no padlock in the browser of the URL. For example, there's the secure website, HTTPS. The letter S stands for something, so you need to be careful when you are looking at the website. And my own experience with the scammers has been, and my clients' experience with the scammers has been that usually, most of the time, scammers don't use an official business email. They prefer online messengers, social media, and so on. This is a big red flag. In many countries of the world, WhatsApp is very dominant. Telegram, maybe Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger. You want to be talking to an official person with an official business email address, not gmail.com, not hotmail.com. In my experience, that's a safeguard that you need to employ, okay? Now, this is technical, but here's your risk barometer, scam risk barometer, that I think I developed this just to give you a compass to help you identify from high risk to low risk. Let's start with high risk. When you don't see any office, a physical office or office address in Canada, that's a big red flag. You need to ask more details. I'm not saying that every legitimate immigration service provider has offices in Canada. I'm not saying that. But you would want to be safer in your interaction. So if there's no office, ask for details. Why? What's going on? A thorough discussion is a must before engaging with that kind of a business or service provider. You should ask, why no, you don't have any presence in Canada? Any licenses? Do you have any licenses? Because I know in many countries around the world, certain companies can obtain license, local, national license, but it's not Canadian license. It's just, okay, incorporation. You can do, in 20 minutes, you can incorporate an entity in several jurisdictions around the world, in several countries, free economic zones and whatnot. But if you want to be safe, you need to deal with someone who is subject to Canadian laws and regulations, okay? No presence in Canada, ask more questions. Then let's go to medium risk, which is there's only virtual address in Canada. There are many corporate addresses and corporate address providers in Canada where you can buy virtual address, commercial address. That's okay. Then you need to try to contact that Canadian office, try to speak to someone, do your due diligence, who you are, what license you have, where are you located, and so on. Ask tough questions because your life project, your immigration project is your life project. So do your due diligence sufficiently, ask questions, check the office address, check Google Maps, where they're located. If you have somebody in Canada, ask them to visit their office and contact their office. So get the domain names of the business, where they are registered. Everything can be done very thoroughly online without engaging anyone. And get the team members' full names. I am very suspicious when I look at the website where I have no names of people. It says, we are this firm, we are that firm, we are this consultancy, that consultancy, and there's no face on the website. This is very suspicious to me. If I'm an immigrant myself, I immigrated 20 years ago, I would never work with someone that I don't know, visually. I need to see a person behind the website. So, and the full name of the professionals. Be mindful that people shorten their names or change their names from their native language to English. So you need to get the full name. For example, you know me as Rahmat Sobirov, but my full name is Rahmat John Sobirov. So you need to get the full name and search accordingly. The main question here in the medium risk scenario is who will be your authorized paid representative? And now I want to bring to the screen authorized paid representative section of the website. You need to see on the government website there are types of representatives, and we are focused on paid representatives. Whoever gets paid for the services that provide to you that relates to visas or immigration, they need to be authorized paid representative, okay? Unpaid representative, we don't have any problem with that. Go, family members, friends probably will help you to complete immigration forms. But authorized paid representative, who can be authorized paid representative? Lawyers and paralegals who are members in good standing of a Canadian provincial or territorial law society. Notaries who are members in good standing in the Chambre de Notaires du Québec, this is in Quebec, and citizenship or immigration consultants who are members in good standing of the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. Nobody else can get paid for immigration services if they are not in one of this list, in one of these categories. Okay? Be very open because, again, this is your life project. There are a lot of scammers that pretend to be who they are not, in fact, and they are trying to deceive you with your immigration project. Okay, let's go back to my presentation. All right, in the low risk scenario, you can see there's an office of the service provider in Canada and good online presence. You need to be able to see them online. Okay, if there is nothing to hide, if you're authorized to offer immigration services, that genuine service provider will be online. I'm sure that he or she will be. He will post, he or she will be posting, the firm will be authentic, the online presence will be good online presence. And in that scenario, in the low risk scenario, I want you to ask the following questions. Who is licensed with a law society or CICC in Canada? Do you have anyone who is in your team who's fully licensed? Are you speaking to a licensee or somebody else? This is very important, and I will delve into that in a moment. So this is your barometer, and you can copy and paste and use as your cheat sheet. I mentioned putting a face to a name is very, very important these days. There are deep fake scenarios, there are openly fake scenarios, so you need to put a face to a name, okay? Always get the full name of the professionals you're dealing with and the relevant province associated with that. Because if that profession is a lawyer, you can check them in the law society of that province. There's no federal database of lawyers. There's provincial database of lawyers. So you can search that full name on Google. First and foremost, Google is your friend. Search it. Go to the website of a law society to check the person. In my law society, which is Law Society of Ontario, you can check my last name, you can check my contact information and go and check it. Don't hesitate. Don't rush. Do your due diligence. Or if it's an immigration consultant, go to the website of the CICC to check their name. Note that lawyers don't have to be regulated by the Canadian government. There are many questions to me as a lawyer saying, are you regulated by Canadian government? Yes, by the virtue of me being a licensed lawyer, I'm already regulated by the Canadian government, by Canadian laws. Or lawyers don't have to be licensed under the CICC. The CICC is for immigration consultants. Lawyers are regulated by law societies. So the words that are used across internet gives a wrong impression as if lawyers are not regulated. Lawyers are very strictly regulated, and we are regulated, every day. Even this live streaming is being regulated. That's why we have a disclaimer. This is not a legal advice. This is general information only. So having a lawyer's license in Canada is enough for that purpose. We don't have to be called regulated lawyers in Canada, okay? Just the fact of a licensed lawyer is enough. Check the person's LinkedIn profile. Make sure business website and Google Maps, okay? LinkedIn profile. Most professionals do have their LinkedIn profiles. If you are entrusting some professional that doesn't have a LinkedIn profile, it's up to you. Do you trust them? Do you not trust them? I would rather deal with someone who has a LinkedIn profile. My personal opinion. Nowadays, even cats have their profiles and domain names. This was a famous saying in the 90s, even every cat has a website now. So you need to be dealing with a professional email address, professional domain name, and LinkedIn profile. The aim is to decrease your risk of being cheated or scammed. If not, you cannot find a professional email address or LinkedIn profile or domain name and so on, then this is a demonstration of things at that professional service provider, you should make your own judgment in that case. Every business has an address on Google Maps. Every decent business, legitimate business, has address on Google Maps. If you cannot find them on Google Maps, then again, use your judgment. If you are not using emails, get yourself a free email address. I know many people use messengers, WhatsApp, Telegram, and whatnot. Email is forgotten in many parts of the world, but for the sake of your safety and avoiding the scam, get a free email and communicate with a professional via email, not online messengers. Online messenger is nothing, to be honest. Any scammer can get a Canadian number and pretend to be a Canadian through WhatsApp or Telegram or other things, okay? Most scammers I've seen use WhatsApp with a Canadian number or North American number, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, Telegram, Viber, IMO, and many other online messenger platforms that are not safe. Yes, you can start the conversation perhaps through social media, but you need to continue the conversation through professional email address. Okay, this is what you need to do. Demand from your professional service provider that they communicate through a professional email address. Doing all these just these three things will save you from a lot of trouble. Just these three things will prevent that you lose the money or you're being identity theft and many other things that come without due diligence. Okay, now there's another scenario when scammers want to look like Canadian. This is very obvious. They use a lot of Canadian symbols. This is a symbol of CBSA, Supreme Court of Canada, an official Canada symbol. They are being used by many scammers. I will show you real life examples right now. So excessive use of Canadian elements, flag, maple leaf, beaver, Justin Bieber or Justin Trudeau, doesn't matter. They want you to believe that they are Canadian or somehow related to Canada. So you need to be really careful there. Unauthorized use of Canadian official signs and symbols is illegal. And unfortunately, those symbols are freely available online, in Wikipedia, on the government websites. Scammers, they copy and paste it on a document. It's easy these days. It's 21st century. Manipulating official program names and playing with words like canadaexpress.org. I will show you that website is a scam. If somebody can refute me in my claim, I'm happy to discuss it online. And I believe that website is a scam website. So I will come to that. And they will be using some manipulative wording. And because most of you don't have English as their native language, you may be deceived into thinking that, oh, this looks like a genuine website. This looks like a Canadian government website or something like that. So you need to be really careful with that. When they invoke Canadian government offices like CBSA, Supreme Court of Canada, and whatnot, like CIC and other names, be really careful. Nobody can use those names under Canadian law other than government offices, okay? Especially that these symbols are very commonly used. Let's see some real life examples. Let me sip my coffee. Let's now see real life examples. Please put your questions and I will come to your questions at the end. The questions must be related to immigration fraud or scam, okay? Thank you. Excuse me. So I said be aware of Canadian symbols. This is a great example. Look at this. Maple leaf as a word mark, ICCRC, Canada, the stamp, and they call themselves Immigration High Commission and put a Canadian address and whatnot. Everything is a scam. It screams out as a scam when I look at that. Immigration Refugees logo, the IRCC logo at the top. This is, and as if it's a genuine document, they put a barcode just as a cherry on top. This kind of use of symbols is prohibitive. Nobody other than the Canadian government can use these symbols. Next one is more sophisticated. What scammers are good in doing is getting public information and deceiving you. Here's an example. This scammer, I don't know even the names apply or not, they are using the registration certificate from CIC and wrote the name Michael Jiao and if you see the registration number, it belongs to a genuine person whose name is Balan Yusuf Jalal, who is an authorized representative, who's a genuine person. This information is available publicly. And you can see consultant identification number on the document and in that search is the same, but the names are different. So Photoshop, manipulating, doing some addition to the document, amendment to the documents is very easy these days. So you need to double check. Go to CICC website, search the name, see if the name corresponds to the registered, authentic, genuine person. It's very easy. It's like 30 seconds basically. So this is one example. License number is a public information. My license number is a public information. If somebody else uses my public information, the license number and my name, and they are coming from gmail.com, please don't interact with that scammer, okay? My information is also public, so don't trust this kind of documents. These are manipulated documents. Another one, a more sophisticated one. This Instagram account holder is a scammer, but he's using genuine names. A little bit changed genuine names, I would say. Look at the Instagram username, immigration_attorney. There's a typo in the word attorney, by the way. And this has 14,000 followers. This scammer has been scamming people left and right. And he's showing this genuine, apparently genuine, screenshot of the certificate, and he puts his name in it. But when you check this, even the registration number corresponds to that genuine name. But this is not the person. Look at his Instagram profile. He says, Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council, Border Protection Officer, USCIS, and everything else that, hypnotizes you into thinking that, oh, I'm a genuine person. Okay? And this certificate is also available online. People put their credentials, but the scammers copy those credentials and put their own thing, trying to match the database which is publicly available, and then scam you. That's why I'm telling that you shouldn't interact with people over social media. Professional email address, that's the way to go. Professional email address all the time. Another one, a champion scammer that I've been monitoring for many years now. He has scammed a lot of people. Look at his Instagram profile, Eagleberg850. He introduces himself as if he is a Mr. Donald Anderson, immigration attorney, United Nations, consulting agents, latest jobs and updates and whatnot. He puts a lot of photos of apparently genuine people, but then he introduces himself. I'm a trusted agent and I also work for the United Nations, blah, 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 all the way, and say, I've received confirmation that your passport has been checked and approved. Now send me the money. Can you make your payment tomorrow morning? So this is the interaction of a scammer on Instagram. Don't do it. This is not a genuine person. Professional email address. That's the way to go. And I've reported this person many times, but unfortunately his Instagram profile is still active. And he asks people for nominal amount, $500, $1,000, nominal amount, and asks him to use Western Union online payment system to pay him. So it is what it is, unfortunately. Here's a genuine scammer. I've been receiving a lot of complaints about this website. It's called canadaexpress.org. There's no face on that website. You can still go and check, but do a Google research. It's a very easy Google research, and you can see they have Canadian numbers, they have Estonian numbers probably, they have address in Estonia, they have address in Canada, in Markham, and so on. They also use WhatsApp to cheat people. When you contact them, they contact you via WhatsApp and say, oh, assessment is $300, assessment is $600. Look at the people that reviewed this canadaexpress.org website. They said, they cheated me. They took my bank account and charged the money without my permission. And this is in Russian, Alexander is saying, they promised me to do everything for $699. And then they asked another $3,000 and so on. They cheated people. Once you pay them, they block you on WhatsApp and you can never reach them. If the owner of this website comes back to me and proves that this is a genuine website, I will retract my words and I will apologize. But I'm sure that this is a scammer's website, and Canadian government or necessary authorities should be taking account of this and blocking this website. They've been cheating people for many years now. And please, don't deal with someone in Estonia to do your Canadian immigration project, okay? Deal with someone who's in Canada or who has association with Canada, is subject to Canadian immigration laws and other laws, especially criminal law. Okay, now these are another examples. The scammers want you to trust them, and they show a lot of documents, a lot of manipulated documents. Look at these visas. Of course, uneducated public will probably trust these documents, but if you analyze a little bit, you will see that this PR card is fake, this visa is fake, that visa is fake too. You need to do a little bit of research and you will find them easily and very, it is what it is, and it's maybe you are not sophisticated in computer technologies, but this is easy to create in 2 minutes. Scammers want you to trust them. Again, here's another example. They show, okay, send me your passport, your visa was approved. They put a fake sticker, they show a fake work permit through WhatsApp and say, now we have obtained your visa, now you pay us. This is the usual mechanism how it works. And they show you this work permit, by the way, is obtained at the Canadian border at the port of entry. They cannot obtain work permit from outside of Canada, okay? And of course, uneducated public will trust them, saying that, oh, my work permit has been approved. I will go to Calgary to work, and so on. And another one here on the top bottom right hand, it is in Spanish. This visa is in Spanish. Visitante uno, and so on. Unfortunately, this person was scammed, and his thousands of dollars are gone. So please, French and English. This is our language. Canadian government does not communicate in any other language, especially they don't use any other foreign language on the visas. We only use French or English. And very popular ones, fake job offers from big names such as Coca-Cola, Shell, Nestle, and so on. Look at our infamous Mr. Anderson offering jobs at Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola wants to hire you, they have an official website where you can apply, where you can be probably processed, interviewed, and so on. Coca-Cola does not hire through Instagram or Facebook. Okay? And this using a lot of dollar signs to attract people. There are tons of these things about Coca-Cola, about Shell, and so on. These are all fake. So be careful, use your judgment, put 2 minutes and look at the document. Do you trust this document or not? If you don't know English, if your language or you cannot analyze it, consult with an immigration lawyer and say, can I trust it? So this another popular fake. Now I want you to watch this video. Don't believe what you see. This is a scammer trying to persuade the person, the holder of this passport, to send money now that they obtained visa. Look at this. It's the same logic, right? It's the same logic. Work permit in the background, trying to imitate the genuineness and showing the passport, your visa is now affixed. These visas are fake. They are printed in sophisticated printers. It's easy. It's easy to print these days. So this is one example. Don't believe what you see. Seeing is not believing, to be honest. Now another one. Look at this. It shines. The fake visa shines under UV rays. And do you think it's a genuine visa on a piece of paper? You need to think beyond what you see. And it's very easy to identify when there's something wrong with the visa. And the final one, look at the Canadian symbols. Canada, everything is genuine, and it's issued in Toronto. And I don't know, how do they do this? This is Navy, I guess, no? I think it's a Navy sign at the end of the cover. So if you see word Canada, Canadian flag, and don't automatically trust all these things, okay? Be very, very careful. And the last one, this one is again Toronto, issued in Toronto, multiple. Look at the font size. Amazing. It's like, how did they do it? They did it on a video, and now they say, send me the money, your application is approved, work permit, here we go, work permit is approved, and so on. So don't be naive. Don't believe what you see. Now, I will come to your questions, and if you need an honest advice, a genuine advice, only focus on licensed immigration lawyers and licensed immigration consultants. That's your safest way. I'm not saying you're immune from scamming, but you will make yourself a good service by dealing with licensed, authorized, paid representatives. You can do it on your own. If you have enough knowledge, don't hire anyone. Go and do it on your own. But if you don't have knowledge and experience, Only use and only pay authorized paid representative. That's the message I want to leave with you today. If you need honest advice and holistic approach in your business immigration and other immigration projects, talk to a professional team like Sabirov's law firm. And we will tell you if we can help you or not. If we cannot help you, we will tell you, sorry, I cannot help you. And that's it. And we are not in the business of scamming or deceiving people. If you have any questions or comment, I would love to hear from you. Let's take a quick break and come to your questions. Thank you.
To stay updated on all things related to Canadian business immigration, check us out on social media. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest news and updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell to stay informed about the most recent immigration news, interviews with top immigration specialists, and our weekly live shows. Visit our website at www.sabirovs.com for more information or to book a consultation with our team of experts.
Welcome back. Now let me take your questions. We have one question from Esrao. Can such people be reported to the authorities? More importantly, will any action be taken against these fraudsters and scammers? Yes, they can be reported to the authorities, but be realistic. If you report someone who is sitting in the other corner of the world and scamming everybody, Canadian enforcement probably will not reach that person, and the identity of person that you know, names, passport, contact, may be fake by itself. That is not the person's real names. How can Canadian authorities or law enforcement capture that guy or bring justice to this situation? And I think, unfortunately, practically speaking, it's very, very difficult. Secondly, Canadian authorities, they have limited resources. They are not interested in helping someone who employed the scammer to come to Canada. To be honest, I know Canadian government logic and I deal with Canadian government a lot. If you are scammed, if you used the scammer's services, quote unquote, and now you are a victim, usually from the Canadian government point of view, you are not considered a victim. That's the problem. And nobody in the Canadian government caused any damage to you. This is the scammer that caused the real damage. I think if you are scammed by unauthorized representatives in your home country, like ghost consultants, visa agencies and whatnot, travel agencies, you need to report to your local authorities saying that those guys are doing something against Canadian law or local laws. I don't think Canadian authorities will get that account holder on Instagram and try to find where that person is. It is really tough, and as I said, they cheat people to $1,000, $2,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, and Canadian government has limited resources and there are other priorities for them to pursue. The enforcement of this is unimaginably difficult. It's not easy, to be honest. But you can report, of course, report it, spread the knowledge, spread the awareness, raise the awareness about these scammers, and that's maximum what you can do. And be really careful. I'm talking about scams happening in Canada by Canadian agents, consultants, lawyers with offices. Yes, for those, you can report to their law society, you can report to CICC, report them, get all the documents and report them. That's more tangible, that's more enforceable. And follow up, what happened to your report? What is the deal? But before you do that, read your contract very thoroughly. Maintain all the communication, copy all those communication, and raise the issue, raise the complaint with a regulatory body in Canada, whether it's CICC or law society related to lawyers. Okay? All right, and if there are no questions related to this topic, I will have to say goodbye. Thank you for your participation, and hopefully you will spread this video within your network. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the week. See you.